Yo yo yo, what is up everybody? Chris here from Esports News, Exhortation ever the flipping on these interwebs, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick tier list ranking all 12 of our CDL teams going into week 3 of stage 3 of our CDL qualifiers going into DreamHack Atlanta. Our third major on the season. Now, I want to go in order of where these teams are placed. So we'll start off with the Boston Breach. I'm going to put them in C tier because they can beat teams like Cloud9. So I'm not going to make them the de facto worst team in the league, but I'm not going to make them a solid team. Carolina, kind of a funny one. They can beat some of the worst teams, but they can't beat some of the best teams. So we're going to put them in B because they can't beat anyone who's in A. LA Thieves. I'm torn between putting them in A or S. They haven't been ASS as of late. I mean, well, they won an event, so I guess you have to put them in the S tier. To win an event, you have to beat one of the best teams, and they beat Optic to win Minor 1, so I'll give them that S. Miami, a team who made the grand finals until further notice, I'm putting them in A just because they overperformed at Minor 1, but otherwise on the year, they've looked very up and down. G2, even though they've been on a heater and they've been kicking up, I'm still going to put them in the B tier just because they haven't proven anything to me yet that says that they are a tough out. It just depends on who they play and how they show up that day, so you can't call a top team like G2, right? Like, you can't call G2 a top team because they haven't earned it. I mean, if you can show up any day and realistically any result is possible or likely, then it's hard to argue that you're a top team, and that's where I feel G2 is. They can show up any day, and we could see them get 3-0, we could see them 3-0 Miami Heretics. Really is just a question of, like, what happens. I mean, so B tier I feel is safe. They can beat some of the better teams, but just depends on who shows up that day. I mean, they beat in Faze, so C9 D tier. No analysis. I mean, fly by night team. It is what it is, right? Paris Gentlemates, I'm gonna put them in A. They're like the de facto A tier team. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they lose to Minnesota G2, you know, and they almost lose to lesser teams like the Boston Breach. So yeah, I'm going to put them in A tier just because they're not S anymore. They were S at one point, but they have a lot of weird kind of things going on. Speaking of teams with weird things going on who I can't put in S tier, we have the Riyadh Falcons. I'm going to put them firmly in the B tier above G2, but I just feel like they're in the same boat as G2. They could 3-0 a team like the Miami Heretics, or they could get 3-0'd by them, or they could take them to a game 5. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get from these guys. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing. So, speaking of the one team in the game where you pretty much always know what you're going to get from them, Optic Texas, S tier, #1 team in the world. Not hard to see why, right? Koi, I'm going to say that they are A tier. I'm going to put them below Mates and below Heretics because I feel like in the head-to-head, Heretics are better, and I feel like Mates as well are better. Vancouver Surge, we're going to put them in the B tier. I feel like they're above Boston, but I feel like they're in a similar boat to G2, Ravens, Riyadh, etc., where it's like they could have an upset, they could play really well, they could play some good teams pretty tight, but odds are they won't. Odds are they're just going to be pretty mid. They're going to get absolutely clapped by whoever's put in front of them. Well, actually, let's put them in the C tier just because they're a step above Boston, but a slight step, like a half step, right? So that means our last team rounding out the S tier is Faze Vegas. I feel like Faze Vegas is slightly ahead of LA Thieves at the current moment, even though they've had some difficulties as of late. I feel like by the time they get to LAN, they will be flying and frying. So yeah, I think that by the time they get to Atlanta, they'll look pretty good. And especially since it's their old stomping grounds. Don't remind me. Yeah, I feel like FaZe will definitely get back going into Major 3. I feel like they've had a couple, disappointing results here and there, but I think they're definitely making improvements. and they're figuring things out. Now, Draza and Abuza, they need to step it up. This new meta has not been great for them, but I feel like they will step it up once we get to LAN. I feel like the results will show that. So I think Optic, LA Thieves, and Faze are our clear-cut S tier. I think the A tier, any of these teams could move up to S, but it just depends on whether or not they can put it together consistently against the S tier teams when they encounter them, because typically they do not, right? So looking at the B tier, of course, these guys could play up. They have beaten A tier level teams, but I just feel like these A tier level teams have kind of taken a slight step above them, and they're trying to contend with the S tier level teams. But the B tier level teams can easily beat the C tier level teams. Whereas the C tier level teams on their best day, they can beat the B tier level teams, but I feel like A and S are just so far out of their reach. And then C9 is just C9. So if anything crazy happens, they can win, but most times they're just getting smacked up. So yeah, guys, that's what wrap it up for me. This is my real, like, dichotomy of how I see the league. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who you think might enjoy it and who's into this niche. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be doing some sort of breakdown, probably going over the most interesting series of the week or maybe interesting map or maps. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. I'll figure out what exactly we will be obscuring tomorrow, so be there for that. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Once again, this is Chris Breaks, Sports News, Experts, however, flipping on me on these interwebs, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.